The Niger coup leader has proposed a 3-year transition of power after meeting a delegation of the Economic Community of West African States. General Abdourahmane Tchiani, who spoke on national television and on Saturday night, says the principles for the move would be decided within 30 days. In his 12-minute speech, General Tchiani condemned ECOWAS sanctions, which he described as illegal and inhuman.
I reaffirm here that our ambition is not to confiscate power. I also reaffirm our availability for any dialogue, as long as they take into account the orientations desired by proud and resilient people of Niger. The government is already instructed to take the urgent arrangement for dialogue. The active forces will work within 30 days to formulate concrete proposals to define the fundamental principles that should govern the transition, to define the priority of the transition, the duration which cannot exceed 3 years.
On broadcast, the coup leader had met with the ECOWAS delegation led by former Nigerian leader of state, Abdulsalam Abubakar, in the latest attempts to restore democratic governance. The delegation also met President Mohamed Bazoum for the first time after he was ousted by military coup plotters last month. Niger's governing military council confirmed the arrival of the ECOWAS representatives sent by President Bola Tinubu as part of last-ditch efforts to persuade the mutinous soldiers to restore constitutional order.
We have met the leaders and heard from them. They also spoke about some of the problems. We'll go back and brief our leaders about the outcome of our visit here. But we are glad that the meeting was productive, as it has opened an avenue for more talks.
Away from Niger, the Nigerian Red Cross has disclosed that 41 of its workers were killed by terrorists in the northeast between 2016 and 2022, while 20 were wounded and 28 others kidnapped in the last 3 months. In Zamfara State, one Red Cross worker died in captivity in 2022, while another was kidnapped in 2023. Chairman of the Nigerian Red Cross in Zamfara, represented by Usman Omafara, gave these details at a symposium organized in commemoration of this year's World Humanitarian Day. Mr. Mafara says despite these attacks, the Red Cross volunteers will continue to work hard to reach areas whenever the need arises.
Last year, we had one of our volunteers who was kidnapped along other people in their community, but later he lost his life. But this year, we also had one of the volunteers, but fortunately for us, he was rescued after he was kidnapped. So we thank God. And you see, the structure of Red Cross does not make us to work, even though we work all over the state, even in places where the security is very heightened. But we have community volunteers that are there. We don't actually move from one place to place. So they were trained. We conduct a weekly training on basic first aid, health, emergencies, and so on. So with that training, they can do a lot of work at the grassroots level.
Now, research has shown that there is a gender gap in the technology space in addressing this issue. The Women's Technology Empowerment Center has stepped in to bridge this gap by training young girls to become tech experts. They say training young girls will go a long way in enabling a world where women and girls will become technology leaders and thrive in this space. Zainab Akonde has more in this report.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics, women constitute just 22% of the total number of engineering and technology graduates from universities each year. This survey is worrisome, hence a call to action to encourage girls to develop tech skills and take the lead in the space. For the past 15 years, about 600 girls between the ages of 13 and 17 were trained by the Women's Technology Empowerment Center to explore the science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics space. The 2023 edition of this training lasted for 2 weeks, and now is the time for the girls who performed well to be honored.
We realized that to close the gender gap, we needed to work with girls. And so we started the first camp in 2008, and since then it's only grown. The statistics show that, a lot of women who start working in STEM drop out within the first 10 years. So we want them to stay beyond 10 years and to be successful and thriving.
We have girls come in from all these public schools, most especially our best students in all of these schools. So they apply, either they come from these schools or we open it to the general public to apply.
During our program here, we had
Nneka Okoro is a 15-year-old girl who moved from having no interest in technology to creating an automated water pump with the skills she acquired at the training. She talks about her project and some challenges she faced while putting it together.
It's a project that helps to stop the prevention of germs and also the wastage of water because it is automatic. All it needs to do is to sense the movement of your hands or anything around it for the water to start pumping. It took a lot of stress and it took a lot of effort for me not to give up. I really never would have thought that I'd be able to do something like this.
Another participant, 17-year-old Idayat Adikpigba, has found a way of inculcating technology into her dream career of fashion and acting. She explains how this program has been helpful and where she sees herself in years to come.
It's innovation. You have to make another person's idea better. People just sell clothes, they don't give tips. You just go there, you see them, they are posting pictures of clothes. You don't even know what particular place you can wear that clothes to. What make our better is because we give you tips on where to wear. I want to learn more tech, so I'm going to see myself as a tech genius in those years.
Other students also displayed some of their works, which explains how their inner thoughts can be brought to reality. The initiator of this program says all hands must be on deck to have a society where women will be well represented in the technology space.
One thing that is important to do is to make sure that there are policies in the workplace that ensure that women stay and they succeed and they can thrive in their careers. Then I think it's important to also make funding available to support initiatives that are building skills, raising awareness among girls.
With women and girls still being underrepresented in technology, this initiative will empower young girls to know what the future holds for them in the technology world. Zainab Akonde, TVC News, Lagos.